So this trash community got Isla Dawn. She deleted her Twitter, and I'm sure she's always arguing with people about, not arguing with people, but she's always giving opinions on like sort of political oriented things.
Oh yeah,
and
I would bet WWE told her you got to cancel this because after the whole Logan Paul thing, they probably had to talk with her like, hey, you got to stop. And when she went back, they probably said, all right, you guys delete your Twitter or else, yeah, we're gonna pull your push. So.
Well, what happened? Was she going hard on Logan Paul or something?
Oh yeah, she made it when Logan Paul went hard on the Khalif of.
I know all that, but that's what Isla was upset about. She was going at Paul.
Oh yes, because
that's crazy. See, I didn't know that, but I've seen her like arguing about just like kind of political stuff, and I'm like, yeah, see, that's gonna turn people against you every time. Whenever we talk about Trump, dude, I try and make it as funny as I can. You know, because he is a Hall of Famer. I got to talk about him like when it's wrestling related, sort of, you know. So like, I get it. You know, you don't want to turn people off with like giving political views. It's cringe, you know.
Especially WWE. They have, as I was arguing with Duke today, they are becoming what Disney was, where in terms of back in the day, everything is wonderful, everything is PC, there is no drama. They don't want any of their active wrestlers to talk politics. They have or anything controversial. You don't even see like Sami Zayn boast like grabbing, anything political. They are keeping that on lockdown because they understand you come to WWE to escape reality. It's a fantasy. You bring the kids, everybody has a great time. They don't want to turn out to be like Disney where they've lost a ton of money because Disney's gone very political, very LGBTQ active, they have social justice. Hell no, that's not good for business.
Chris Connor, what are your thoughts on WWE bringing back Saturday night's main event and Jesse Ventura slated to return as the color commentator for the show on Saturdays?
I mean, look, NBC is gaga for WWE. If they do it right, I'm for it. Jesse Ventura, really? Yeah,
bro, Jesse and Punk, and I'm already picturing it. Jesse, Punk, Michael Cole. Something like that. Could you see that Punk doing commentary? I think one day the commentary team will be Punk and Big E. One day. I think that will be like the color commentators for like Raw and SmackDown or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, because that means you want to do that forever. And if you're Big E and if you're Punk, Punk's already dabbled in acting. He's dabbled in other stuff. I mean, I could see him doing that. I could also see him take a couple of years off and going, all right, let me try Hollywood again. He has connections with the Sons of Anarchy people, because he was on Mayans. He's written, for Marvel. I mean, I could see him getting into other stuff. This industry takes a lot out of you mentally and
I don't
physically.
think he will, because he's talking about him like taking over NXT one day, like being the guy to succeed HBK. And so I think he's a WWE for lifer now. I think we'll see Punk on commentary, and I think he's just full company guy now forever. And then he can go do the movie still. He can still go do that because now WWE's letting people do that,
Everybody says that, but if you do movies, that's 6 months where you're off TV. So right now,
yeah, but they need that because you're the guy who always goes, what are they going to do with they already have a bloated roster? That's what you do. You let people go away.
I understand that, but
then they come back. Yeah, like Drew McIntyre. Look, dude, he didn't lose any momentum at all.
Drew McIntyre's scenes didn't take that long. It was.
I know, but now you're fucking now. But you don't know.
No,
here's the thing. Now you're picking and choosing. Like Drew McIntyre went away, did that Killer's Game thing, and now he's at the tippy top of his game now. You know what I mean? We can't be like, oh,
I'm not being choosy.
It wasn't a long shoot.
I'm saying
nobody hears the next Tom Cruise. We're talking like CM Punk if he wants to go shoot a horror flick. He can go do that. If he wants to be on Mayans or whatever the show is, he can go do that.
No, he can't, because when you're on Mayans.
Yeah, this is an old WWE, dude. And he's doing a horror movie, actually. Did you know that? Punk just signed on to do a new horror movie that's coming out. So
yes, horror movies usually can take maybe a month at tops. It's everything you shoot, bang, 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 bang. If you're shooting stuff like Mayans, that usually takes longer. You're on different locations.
Well, exactly. So they can go do movies and Drew.
Yes, they can do small cameos if they want to.
Sure, that's boom. There you go. That's all they need. Nobody hears Tom Cruise, right? And Roman, they just went and let him do a big ass movie. And then he came back. Now, provided that is Roman, you know, but they
Yes,
just let him do it
it's
too.
Roman.
And it's the old adage, how can we miss you if you don't go away? I think it's perfect. This is how we rotate in stars in and out of the territory, so to speak. You know, that's my opinion on it. But
all right.
So, as first reported by Backup Hangman, the Lucha Bros will be main roster bound upon their arrival in WWE. However, there's no timeline on when Penta and Phoenix will arrive in the company. Now, my whole thing is this. I said right from the jump, and see, I told you, Chris, they're focusing on tag team wrestling big time in WWE. I've been telling everyone, but here's the thing. I said Penta and the Motor City Machine Guns could all go to the main roster or NXT. They want the Machine Guns to be the face of tag wrestling in NXT. You got to think like Penta and Phoenix might be, you know, like the face of the Raw tag division. Like they don't really have anything going on the Raw side. SmackDown, there's a little bit more going on, but I don't know, man. They should just merge all the belts and have it where the champions go on whatever show they want. Like back in the day when the Undertaker had the undisputed belt, you know, but then that means they have to get rid of the world heavyweight belt and all that. So I don't know, maybe you keep some of the belts exclusive, but those tag belts, like you need to really just merge the main roster ones and then have them go back and forth like the ladies do. For sure. But if I don't know why Phoenix and Penta are going to just skip ahead to the main roster. And that might not even be true. Again, it's Ibu saying this, but everybody's pissed that it is confirmed that Motor City is in WWE, which I love, but people are pissed that they're in NXT to start. Chris, what do you think? Would you send the Lucha Bros to NXT to start? Or like, do you think Motor City should be skipped ahead as well? Like, what do you think? Let's assume this is true. Why do you think the Lucha Bros get to go main roster right away, but not Motor City?
I don't think they are. I would say that both Lucha Bros and both Motor City Machine Guns, they're going to NXT first.
Yeah.
There's no room, especially now when you keep hearing that that Netflix is turning Raw into a 2-hour show, not 3 hours, 2 hours. So
no, but it goes back when they go to Netflix. Raw is only 2 hours for the remainder of their time on USA, and then when they get on Netflix, it's going back to that's the thing on Netflix. There's not even necessarily like a time limit. Like obviously there is based on their building, but we might get a Raw that's 3 hours and 10 minutes. We might get a Raw that's only 2 hours and 48 minutes one week. We might get you know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying they're going to shortchange or play games, or it'll still be formatted. Like you have to do that to make a good show. You need somewhat of a time constraint, but it's the same way. Like, you know, Squid Games comes out, one episode's 30 minutes, one's 45. You know what I mean? Like they can get away with that a little bit too. There's no like, oh, we got to get off the air before, you know, like the overrun or whatever. But yeah, the Raw thing, a lot of dirt sheets misreported that. The Raw isn't remaining 2 hours when they go to Netflix. Only for the remainder of their time on USA is the 2 hours. Talking of WWE scrapping as well, WWE is reportedly scrapping Def Rebel as their music partner and will not be renewing their contracts once they expire. It is expected that WWE will use mainstream artists going forward. So does that mean for pay-per-view? So does that mean like Jacob Fatu's coming out to Thunderstruck? Or you guys know what I mean? Like, does that mean they're going to just license for everybody now? I highly doubt. This is PW Nexus. Again, just a dirt sheet. Who knows if they're being factual here? But I think if they move on and go with someone else than Def Rebel, that's fine. But you have to have like in-house. Oh, O'Day just knocked this dude. But you have to have some in-house people to some extent, especially when you create characters and stuff like that. And I don't see them just shilling out money to like, you know, bands and stuff like that for every wrestler gets a no. So, but
in other words, you should be hitting the liar button. Liar.
It should be. Yeah.
Liar.
Who knows if this is legit or not, but
liar. That's the truth.
There's no way Netflix is spending all that money for 2 hours. Exactly, dude. That's exactly it, bro. They're not. And WWE's not going to leave all that extra money they'll get from like, this is brought to you by Saucy Nugs. You know, like they're doing saucy nug ads. Like
You
there's
want me
no
to drop-
way they're gonna give up
you
that
want me
extra
to
that
drop-
extra time. And the fans are all mad. Like they're like, oh, Raw's only 2 hours. All the fans are outraged. We all used to complain about 3-hour Raw. That's such a testament to how good WWE and Triple H is and what Netflix is investing in, man. They want that long show, you know, like you don't fill people in that building to give them only 2 hours of TV, bro. You got to give them that 4 hour live event or whatever, you know? So I don't know, dude. I'm so excited though for the Netflix era. So here's the thing. Here's Ibu, the sick weirdo. Ibu, I'm just calling you out, brother. It is what it is. He says that WWE is said to be extremely horny to sign Daniel Garcia. And Ibu says, and he's wrong about everything, says Triple H reportedly believes that Daniel Garcia is the next great technical wrestler with comparisons to Roderick Strong and Bryan Danielson. I'm calling shenanigans. I'm calling lies. I don't believe this for 1 second. I think these WWE guys are purposefully stooging out information to these dumb dirt sheet AEW ball kissers. And they are doing this so that someone like Tony Khan keeps investing into people like Garcia that clearly aren't going to work. He comes out, the crowd does not give up. The crowd does not care about Sammy Guevara, who's also in that picture. Sammy had a match on Dynamite. The crowd could not have cared less. And I think WWE, if anything, they're telling these idiots this. Yeah, oh yeah, Triple H is so high on Garcia, dude, so that they keep like pushing guys like this and letting, and you know, because it only hurts AEW. There's no way Triple H is like, oh, the next Danielson is Garcia, bro. There's no way. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's my opinion on that. And he'd be great in NXT. Don't get me wrong, but
Would he
it's
vote?
just
Would he?
yeah, I think Shawn Michaels would make it happen with him. I think he would figure it out how to get him to not be so cringe on the mic and like that.
I'm going to call right now. I think our buddy Kevin Apollo's little kids could beat up Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, like Zilla Fatu. Like exactly. They have Zilla Fatu training in the works. Triple H, I believe there's people stooging people like Ibu bad info 100%. And I think that's intentional to make them look stupid because exactly you have guys like Zilla Fatu coming in. You're not looking even at Daniel Garcia for however much. What is Tony paying him? $250,000 a year or $500,000 a year, let's say? You're not even looking at Garcia for that much. So